I was doing some research this morning. I want to be impartial. I don't want to influence. If an EV is right for you, buy it. But make sure it's right for you. Make sure it's right for you. Make sure you're going to keep it. Buy it. If you've got a home charger, buy it. Don't charge at night, but buy it. So, let me just show you this. Did I mention I don't want to get sued? And I don't want to give misinformation. So I asked, these are the questions that I asked myself. But having been in the motor trade all my life, just say I'm a little bit sceptical about people's motives. Why would Autotrader and Ian Plummer continuously write articles about Chinese vehicles, how good they are and how good they are selling in the UK, when lots of negative stories are coming from China about them, self-registering new vehicles and selling them second-hand, and them having to give massive discounts to sell them? Why would Ian Plummer lead a trade envoy to go to the Chinese Motor Show? Is it a conflict of interest for Autotrader to do this? And why are they treating their customers who advertise electric vehicles better than the people who sell ICE by placing specific electric car adverts on social media? How can this behaviour be right from the best known name in the UK motor trade? So, he thought about it for 1 minute 14 seconds. Why so many upbeat Autotrader stories about Chinese cars? What Autotrader gets out of it? Traffic and revenue. Chinese brands are new to Britain and spend heavily on marketing. Well, we know that. We know they're treating influencers very well. Chinese brands are new to Britain and spend heavily on marketing. Covering them pulls curious shoppers onto the site and keeps those brands buying ads. Fair enough. Now we'll get to something in a bit, and that's what hit home to me. You know, ka-ching, that's the penny dropped. Because, well, I'll tell you in a minute. Views of new Chinese brand ads on Autotrader jumped tenfold in 2025 and already account for 5% of all new car ad views, up from virtually zero 2 years ago. 4 in 10 UK buyers now say they would consider a Chinese brand among 17 to 34 years old. That rises to 57%. Editorial angle. Autotrader's own data let it portray itself as the insight leader on the EV transition. Policy alignment. The UK zero-emission vehicle, ZEV mandate, requires 28% of every car maker's 2025 sales to be electric. Chinese newcomers fill that quota at the cheap end of the market. But aren't Chinese makers self-registering cars and discounting heavily? Yes, inside China, a brutal price war has forced some brands and local governments to register cars as used the moment they leave the line, then export them at fire sale prices. Reuters documented the practice in detail on the 24th of June 2025, and Beijing's state newspaper demanded a crackdown 2 weeks earlier. Guess what date it is today? 24th of June, it's 2:30 in the afternoon. Autotrader's consumer press releases rarely dwell on those supply-side risks, but its longer insight blogs do acknowledge overcapacity and ultra-fast product cycles in China, noting that some Chinese brands will fail. Ian Plummer's China trips, Trade Envoy or normal market research. What happened? LinkedIn posts and Autotrader's own blog confirms that Commercial Director Ian Plummer led an Autotrader delegation to Chinese OEMs and the Beijing Motor Show in 2024 and 2025. Now, bearing in mind Autotrader sell vehicles, we pay them to sell our vehicles. That's primarily, as far as I'm concerned, that's primarily what they're there for, to sell UK dealers' cars. It's an advertising platform. In my opinion, it's an advertising platform that's got too big for its boots, has lost sight of its origins and the people it should be loyal to. Completely lost sight, gone, veered off, different direction. It's almost as if they want to be disassociated with people who deal with petrol and diesel vehicles. Not an official envoy. There is no public record that he was appointed by the UK government or received state funding. It looks like a private commercial fact-finding tour. That's routine for large listed companies when it becomes a conflict. Only if Autotrader A, accepts incentives from Chinese brands, and B, keeps editorial control while failing to label the content. The ASA's payment plus control test would then classify the item as an advert and require clear disclosure. Well, I've no idea what hospitality they got while they was in China. I know that I've been invited on several. I used to go to the motor show. There was no bloggers then, there was no influencers, no Instagram, no YouTube. And you used to get winding down like there was no tomorrow. You know, press day at the motor show, it was a great day. It was a great day to be in the motor trade. So I've no idea whether they got any incentives or not. I'm assuming, as none of the stuff is classified as an advert, I'm assuming that they didn't. 4. Favouring EV advertisers on social media. Autotrader openly admits it pours extra marketing spend into EV awareness. Partnership with Green TV, World EV Day, etc. A perpetual monthly EV giveaway. Paid social pushes that spotlight electric stock. That does mean a dealer listing a petrol Ford Focus may get less free amplification than a dealer listing a BYD Dolphin. The firm justifies it on a public policy grounds, helping the industry hit ZEV quotas, and because EV listings still convert more slowly, so they need the boost. Well, okay, then pay more money, right? If you're getting better services, pay more money. Don't take the piss out the rest of us, which you are doing. Legally, it's fine provided. The core listing package and algorithmic ranking are the same for ICE and EV sellers who pay the same fee. Well, obviously they're not, are they? How can they be if they're giving an EV away every month? How can they be if, when you search an EV, a day after you get an email about buying EVs and how good they are? I don't remember searching a Range Rover and then getting an email the next day saying how good Range Rovers are. So you're not getting the same, are you? You're being treated differently. 2. Any EV-specific paid promotion is declared to the retailer up front. 3. Social posts that are effectively ads are labelled ad or equivalent. Again, ASA rules. If you think those conditions aren't being met, you can complain to the ASA or for potential competition issues, the CMA. Takeaway for dealers and readers. Concern, one-sided coverage. Practical steps, cross-check Autotrader claims with independent reporting, i.e. Reuters on zero-mileage exports. Possible undisclosed advertorials. Look for sponsored badges if missing. File a quick ASA complaint online. EV ads getting more reach. Ask your Autotrader account managers to spell out exactly what amplification your package includes and negotiate parity if needed. Do you know what? We used to have the best Autotrader rep. Girl called Linda Cooper. I used to call her Super Cooper. She was brilliant. She supposedly moved areas, but I don't think she did move areas because she was coming to see a dealer just up the road from us. I asked Autotrader if we could have her back because our area rep was useless. And do you know what? Ask me how many times, since Linda Cooper stopped coming to see us, ask me how many times I've seen the Autotrader rep. 0. Absolutely 0. I've complained about the live chat, saying it's shit, nothing's been done. Live chat just went off our site. Never told us, just went off, disappeared. Never told us there was a new one coming that I saw. Disappeared. And the new one is useless. It's absolutely crap. Honestly, it's not worth having free. Seriously, if you include that in a package, I'd want something else for getting it for free. It's that bad. And contact at once, live chat used to be brilliant. I may have told you this before, I'm sure I have, but I was once on a train to Manchester and I sold a car to a guy in New Zealand over live chat and using Evernote, I think I had, which I mentioned a younger guy that I used to work for. That was one of the things I learnt off him, Evernote. Get all your documents, put them on an Evernote. So you've got all the car's documents with you on the phone. I sold him it was an Alfa Romeo. I sold it to him on the way to Manchester on the train. He was in New Zealand. I had everything I needed for that car. I'd done a video, done photographs, I'd listed everything, and I'd got all the documents on my phone in a file. I don't think I've sold one vehicle with this shitey life person, I think it's called. It's crap. Residual value risk on Chinese EVs. What's Euro NCAP scores, warranty terms and UK price cut trends before stocking? Bottom line, Autotrader. Now this is where it's sunk in. This is where it's sunk in. Autotrader is not a neutral newspaper. It's a marketplace whose revenues rise with whatever cars, right now, Chinese EVs, generate the most clicks and ad spend. Generate the most clicks and ad spend. That commercial reality explains the positive tone. Well, no, it doesn't. Only the truth would explain a positive tone. If it's not the truth, then it's not fair. And as I say, Autotrader is not a neutral newspaper. Autotrader should just be advertising cars and keep the nose out of everything else. In my opinion, they shouldn't have a leasing company. In my opinion, that's a conflict of interest. If they can, if all of a sudden they've got 1,000 vehicles, and you say, oh Baz, 1,000 vehicles, come on. Okay, so a number of years ago, Mercedes had a glut of E220 convertibles. They put them out at virtually nothing. Well, when I say nothing, the PCP cost was just absolutely nothing. All the footballers had one for the wife. They were like, you know, it was selling them was like shelling peas. It was so easy. Now then, they sold them all. But guess what? They're all on a 3-year PCP. Guess what happens after 3 years? They all come back. The leasing company has got a glut. E220 CDI convertibles. They've got a glut coming back. What do? Immediately you think, crikey, you know, if I've got 1,000 of these coming back and I can get an extra 500 quid in the auction, happy days. So what do? Social media. What do you do if you've got more than 1,000 coming back? What do you do if you've got a leasing company? What do you do if you've got a leasing company and you own a company that's the biggest company in the UK when it comes to car sales and influencing people? What do you do? What do you do if you've got, you know, like a few years ago, they could sell all their EVs that they could possibly get their hands on because the dealers were creating this illusion that there's a big waiting list. They were creating the illusion and self-registering them, keeping them short, keeping the product short. No, I'm sorry, Mr. Customer, it's going to be 12 months before you can get one. I might be able to get you one of our used demos, but it'll be a bit more than the new one. All right, is that okay? So what do you do if you've sold everything, and in 3 years they're all coming back, and you know they're coming back, and if you can do something to raise the residuals by generating a few positive stories, or say, what about this? Let's just go the complete opposite. What if you can buy brand new vehicles at a massively discounted price and you can put them out on lease and make a fortune up front? Not in 3 years' time when they come back. Now. You can sell them now. You can draw your money off the finance company way, way more than you've paid for it. So you start writing stories. Now this is like me thinking out of the box. What would you do? I'm not accusing anybody. What would you do if you could right now buy a load of Chinese EVs at a massively knocked down price? You'd be telling people they're the best thing since sliced bread, wouldn't you? As you know, you, not Autotrader, you, Joe Private, you've got a little leasing company and you can buy all these cars and you can make money right here and right now. Your other EVs are blowing in the auction, but right now you can buy as many Chinese EVs as you want with a massive discount. Get them pre-registered. What does it matter? Customers only getting a car, end of 3 years it comes back. Just imagine, what would you do? You'd forget about the negative things, wouldn't you? And you'd be telling your customer, people who work on commission. We used to have vehicles that you couldn't sell. Somehow you couldn't sell them. They would never sell. And one of the reasons they would never sell is because there probably wasn't enough money in it. You'd had them in stock a bit. Your profit had come down. You'd reduce it. Your profit had come down. The salesmen, they're not interested in doing the company a favour because they work on commission. So that car just stays there and it'll stay there forever. Because they'll get, no, Mr. Customer, you don't want that. No, you know, it's the wrong specification. Colour outside and inside. That's why we've had it so long. You don't want that. You want this one that's just come into stock that's got like $5,000 across it and I get 20% of it. You don't want that one with nothing in. Where I'd get 50 quid. I'd get 50 quid for selling it. You know, a standard bonus, standard rate for sales for all things. And they never sell. So you know what you do? You know what I used to do? I used to sell more cars than the salesman when I was sales manager. That's why I didn't have a problem with used stock. Because I would say in the morning meeting, we need to get rid of that. You sell it, I'll give you 2 of my sales and you can claim the commission on it. We never had a problem. Money. That's what turns salesmen on. I was going on the other day about the Turkish Delight. There's a couple of things that turn salesmen on. It's the smoker. That's the car, the demonstrator. Now, I used to work with a lad called Craig Aspin. Craig Aspin would rather have a better car than the money. If I wanted to create competition, we used to have a vehicle called the Loser Cruiser. And the worst salesman would get the Loser Cruiser. See how it works? I mean, that's an alternative as to why all these people are pushing. The advertising revenue we've got, yeah, we get that. We get the influencers, Mr. I can't remember, he's called JD, JM. Mr. JM has just come up with a story that I did a few weeks ago. He's got a lot more views than me. That's life, I'm afraid. So he exposed the, was it JQ? I think it was JQ. And paying the influencers for a favourable review. Bottom line, Autotrader is not a neutral newspaper. It's a marketplace whose revenues rise with whatever cars, right now, Chinese EVs, generate the most clicks and ad spend. So now, if it's going for that, it's not doing a good job for the dealers, is it? So what the dealers need, Autotrader, if you want to go advertising new cars in your leasing company and you want to become a publicity company, then I suggest you do the decent thing and cut all the dealers free. Let them go. Let them go and find somebody who's just going to advertise their cars equally. And not keep sending envoys to China and making public statements every week about Chinese vehicles and